It's Tuesday, October 4th, and it's exciting to be with you today, North Dakota, to talk about the election that's coming up. You know, the weather's gotten colder, and along with that, you're probably seeing commercials on your TV, getting mail in your mailbox. Maybe candidates are coming to your door to ask for your vote. And we at AARP, is a nonpartisan, nonprofit membership organization with over 83,000 members in North Dakota, wanted to make sure that you have what you need to cast your ballot. And so we popped on Facebook today to talk a little bit about some of the resources and information that AARP has. And with me is Janelle Moos, our Advocacy Director. Janelle, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So Janelle, we know that 50 plus voters, as it says behind us here, our voices decide. So talk a little bit about the power of 50 plus voters in North Dakota and elsewhere.
You know, I think across the country, not only in North Dakota, but all over the country, 50 plus voters often are the deciders. They are the most reliable voting bloc. They come out no matter what. But our hope is that, you know, we show out in big numbers again, and we have the way to make decisions and help legislators and people running for office know what's important to 50 plus voters.
So if you need information, we're going to talk a little bit more about some specifics, but on the bottom of your screen, you should see a bar that says aarp.org/ndvote. So you need to know how to cast your ballot, where to cast your ballot, when to cast your ballot, who's on the ballot. Any of those types of questions, aarp.org/ndvotes is your one-stop shop for that. So Janelle, let's talk a little bit about what races are on the ballot.
Yeah, so if you're excited about voting in just 5 weeks, there are super important races that are out there for you to know about. The U.S. Senate race, you know, we've got 3 different candidates running for U.S. Senate. In North Dakota, we've got Rick Becker running as an independent, Katrina Christensen as the Democrat, and incumbent Senator John Hoeven. So make sure you watch out for that race. There'll be some interesting things coming up soon. As you know, with the U.S. House race, we've got an incumbent, Representative Kelly Armstrong, running as the Republican, and Carl Mund as the independent. The other thing that's super important, we've got a lot of state Senate races that are going to change hands, and we'll have newly elected folks there. We've got 32 of 47 seats up for election this fall, as well as 66 of the 94 seats in the House. Also Secretary of State and the Attorney General's office. So this is a super important time for you to be engaged in what's going on in North Dakota as well as across the country. And, you know, we've made it really easy for you to find out who the candidates are, where they stand on issues, and so you can get out there and be informed as you vote.
So I'm going to do my Kornacki, right, as part of it. And so we've talked about races on the ballot. How can you be engaged? So one of the things, we've had a long-standing collaboration with Prairie Public Broadcasting and sponsored the debates again this year. We've got 3 debates that we've sponsored with Prairie Public Broadcasting this year. The first one's actually already happened. It was a week ago. The North Dakota House debate between independent candidate Carl Mund and incumbent Republican Kelly Armstrong was last week, but it is available for you to go back and rewatch at prairiepublic.org/election2022, or I know Prairie Public will be rebroadcasting those throughout the remainder of the election season. In addition, next week, a week from today, we'll be there for the North Dakota Attorney General's debate. You know, the Attorney General's office sits on a number of important boards for the state of North Dakota. They also run the Office of Consumer Protection. And with all the fraud and scam prevention work we do here in North Dakota, you know, that's an important race for those 50 and older. And then last but not least, Janelle mentioned the U.S. Senate debate with the 3 candidates as well. Wednesday, October 26th at 7 p.m. You'll get a chance to hear from them. But you don't just get to hear from them. We've got other opportunities for you as well.
What you have an opportunity, we're going to call out to thousands of North Dakotans so that you can listen to each of these candidates, talk about issues that are important to them, but you can also ask questions of them live. So you can either wait for a call from us and we'll call out to you, or else if you want to make sure you get that phone call and can participate in any 3 of these town halls, you can register at that link at the bottom of your screen, so you are sure to get that call. But this is a super important way for you to learn more about the candidates one-on-one, and you can be engaged in the conversation by asking a question live.
It's very much like talk radio. So if you listen to talk radio, it's very similar. The other thing is we will be broadcasting those live on our Facebook page as well with them. So another way to engage is part of it. Now it's not working. There it is. Okay. The other thing we know is that as we mentioned at the front end, candidates are out probably asking for your vote right now. Some of them are probably knocking on your door if you live in a legislative district that has an election this year. And one of the things we know is they do that. Candidates often ask you what's on your mind. We've asked you what's on your mind, and what you've told us is important to you are kind of 4 main topics. How do you stay safe and independent at home? How do you protect yourself, and what can folks do to protect and better provide restitution for fraud and scams? How can we do better at making sure your utility bills are affordable and make sure we don't have that pocketbook issue is in the front of minds of the Public Service Commission and others. And last but not least, prescription drugs. And so we have this handy palm card. You can go to aarp.org/ndvotes. Again, aarp.org/ndvotes. You should be able to find this at the bottom of the page or right at the link. But the 4 questions, we have suggested questions. So when that candidate comes and knocks on your door and says, hey, I'd like your vote, what's on your mind? If you care about how you stay safe and independent at home, we have a suggested question for you for that. If you want to know about utility bills and what they think about keeping utility bills affordable for all North Dakotans, question for that. Same with fraud and consumer protection. And last but not least, prescription drugs. The other thing I should tell you is, if you're certain you know what legislative district you're in, this was a legislative redistricting year. And so the district lines have been redrawn. And so if you think you've always lived in a certain district and you're certain of that, you might want to go check. If you want to know how to go check, aarp.org/ndvotes will be that. Janelle, we've shared a ton as part of it. I think you should just close with the importance of getting out to vote and why they should get out and cast their ballot.
You know, as I said, this is a super important election year. Voters 50 plus really are the most reliable block. They get out there, they vote. What we've done is we made it super easy for you to learn who's on the ballot, where to vote, how to vote. Make sure you go out and do that. This is really the time to get engaged and make sure candidates know where you stand, and you can also ask them to do that. So again, go to aarp.org/ndvotes and get out there and vote in just 5 short weeks.
See you on election day.